Morning traders, welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we're going to go through live order flow in time here, and we'll look for some go through live order flow in time. Look for some opportunities as well in. So the idea is very simple. We want to understand the behavior of traders in the auction process. Order flow allows you to do that. We're going to understand that, and then for a higher probability outcome based upon that understanding. General disclosures. All Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies in substantial risk of loss is not suitable for investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of results. All right, so let's jump in and take a look at the S&P Mini and see if anyone is in here who I forget who I was talking to yesterday about Execution Pro. Go through some of the options in there though, features in the Execution like. Anyway, or any suggestions that you guys have. It's really your show here. I'll cover it for you. Good morning, Stan. Yeah, we'll take it from there. Morning, Rob. All right, so we're looking right here at the S&P Mini. A couple trades this morning, just a few scalps, kind of in between some or during some meetings, and also testing some things. Yeah, maybe I can go through some of these as well. Good morning, Stephen and Alois. This was off of VWAP in here. And just some very, very simple things off of VWAP that maybe we can. Yesterday, we went over CVD quite a bit. We can continue if you guys had any questions on that. And exhaustion is another part of it. So anyway, yeah, just let me know what kind of questions you have. We'll be happy to go. We can see the 9:30 cash open right here. See a nice move to the upside, and then this is actually the precisely the pivot points that we were talking about for the last few sessions here. It's right here, right around this 9:30 cash open. You can see the buying that came in. Now it came in a little bit maybe below, maybe here as well. We can mark it up though. I will put one in here and also in here. So this is what we're talking about, where we see the buyers come in. We see them move up into high liquidity, and look at the strength of the buying. Okay, it's really nice in here. And then we see this nice movement in here with some of the buying, and that's pretty indicative of a stop run. Look where we turn around after the stop run. So we're talking about stop run to stop run. Okay, and this is very typical when the market doesn't really know what to do. And why is that environment upon us right now? Is because we have so much data coming out this week. Right. So tomorrow we have the FOMC, and on Friday we have the non-farm. These are the two biggest market events or economic events that we have, and it's in the same week here. So we're going to see a lot of movement, and what we see is buyers coming in, buyers moving the market up. We see the stop run here. Take CVD off. The stop run is here with the red line. Again in here, right in here, nice stop run, and then we see it kind of no stop runs, or maybe to the downside a little bit, not a whole lot, just kind of dribbling off, and then a big stop run that just unfolded just as we were starting the webinar. All right, now, and then we kind of drew up this zone in. All right, look at this zone and look at the understanding, comprehend what's going on in here. Okay, we have buyers coming in, stop run to the upside, sellers coming in, stop run to the downside. And we're right back in the middle. So you can continue to look for these patterns. I had mentioned this last week in crypto. This is where you really, it's very blatant. See it all the time in crypto, and it's just how the market works. It's not, there's nothing wrong with it or anything like that. It is just showing you, or you're getting an understanding due to the stop indicator in what's going on. The market climbs up. It chews through a bunch of orders in here. The buyer or the sellers in here feel the pain, and they get stopped out. And then there's really, what drove this in here? Well, this move in here has been driven by people getting stopped out. They're not going to support it. They're not in here to support it. Maybe these guys down here would support it. Well, you see a stop run here though as well, right? Maybe these guys in here, maybe they will support price because this buying in here in this little area between here and here is real buying. So where's the support? I don't really see it. In fact, look at the sellers able to drive that area and continue to go lower. And now we're talking about, here's a stop run, here's a stop run. Anyone that bought in this whole area in here is going to feel the pain to the downside. And there's our big stop run there. And it initiates right here. So any of the buying in this whole area in here are feeling, a lot of traders are feeling pain on the down here. Not all, not even close to all, but there's a lot. It's a pretty big stop run from let's see, 523 down to negative 152. So you know, over 600 orders in here. Now there's a lot more than 600 in, but you get my drift. And that we come right back up and test where we dropped from also kind of shows that these sellers, they're not really supporting. You see the drift back up to right to the point of control, most traded level, which is this level. So again, understanding this, the bigger picture of what this dynamic is and what the orders are and the order. This is the participant behavior that we're talking about. So what kind of insights do we have in here? Well, we can start to look at this behavior and look at these stop runs in this people pain as well. Right now, well, what about these orders in here? This looks to me like I don't see a lot of stop runs, stop order transactions. So it looks to me like these are real sellers. So it looks like the move, then maybe we're going to get a move to the downside, right? So now we're going to look for follow through on the downside. So I would look for sellers to come in here, especially right here, try to push it down not only to the bottom of this range here at 07, but maybe to the low of the day. Certainly down to this 05 level, buyers came in. All right. So somewhere between 7 down to something like that. Let's see. And do we see something really good right now? Well, starting to get interesting. We see some buying in here, but here come the sellers. But we're already down at 07, 08, and there we go. Okay, now still looking for sellers to drive it lower. I want to see the sellers drive it down to our next level, 05, and then day here at 03. All right. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions to begin with here, Hector. Yeah, Rob, Map Lite is making the ES more readable. Yep, you're also using it for the NQ, which is great. Okay, so if you guys don't know what this is, then show you. Okay, so it's a new add-on that we developed, and the reason that we developed is right in front of us in here. It is this algo here, big bands of liquidity in here that is dominating the order book. Now, this is the true condition of the market, and Bookmap's showing it correctly, but it really doesn't help us here. It kind of ruins the heat map for us. So we filtered it out, and let me show you how you can do it. So go up to figure add-ons, and this is free product for anyone who has App Global Plus. You will need Rhythmic or Bookmap data for this, though. Just note that. And we're going to scroll down, and Trader Map Lite is right here. If you don't see it in here, go to your Manage Add-ons, and then scroll down here, and under Available for Install, you'll see it in here. Install it, and once you install it, you can see it's right in here, and that's how you can. So now, once installed, come back into here, and just all you have to do is check the box, and it will tell you what's going on. It will not support stops and icebergs in the subchart or on chart right now, right? So you can read more about it here. We're working on this though. Okay, so it's going to be some weeks away that you will be able to have stops and icebergs on the chart, as well as to be able to trade from this chart. Anyway, now we just opened up another instrument right here, and you can see it says ESU4 at .CME at TM Lite, Map Lite. Let's click on it. This is a synthetic instrument, and note that behavior, that algo is gone. Okay, we targeted it and we filtered it out. This allows us to get a better understanding of what Bookmap is showing in liquidity. So look at the bid starting to come in. We were looking for that drop, right? Well, look at the bid coming in, and we're finding some buyers here. So now let's see if we can get an extension here. Maybe are we finding enough buyers? Can they trade through this area here, okay, where the sellers came in? Is this just a rotation back up, and then we see it drop back down? Don't know. The bid looks pretty good, and we're finding some buyers though. Whereas in here, you're looking for them back down to 07, 8, and 05, and then which still may just a retest back up to this here. Let's see if we get our sellers coming. All right. Well, anyway, go through many of these things in here where the sellers in here are dominating the price action in this move here. So this is kind of a retest back to it, and we can see that we're back in the middle. Let's see if there's anything else that. Oh yeah, I wanted to start with the higher time frame to begin with, and so let's take a look at that here in Rhythmic. Just a very simple candlestick chart, daily, hourly, and let's understand kind of what's going on in the bigger market structure. That's it. We're not looking for anything more than that, just market structure. Yeah, so pretty choppy, like yesterday. You can see yesterday's candle and today's candle. We are definitely inside of that range. So this is, again, very indicative of market not knowing and data, right? So kind of bashing around from side to side, and stop hunting to the upside, or squeezing people to the upside, getting them to feel the pain so that they become buyers up in here, and then there's no more buyers, so it rotates lower and finds sellers down here. Again, in the crypto market, we see this just all the time, and you see it in all markets. It's just, I think, more apparent. Anyway, or Bitcoin, I should say. What do we see in the hourly here? Well, again, same thing in here, just some really choppy back and forth. Sellers are up here, buyers seem to be down in these areas here, and on the 15-minute, same thing. Sure, I've questioned. Yep. All right, so it looks like we just kind of filled the gap here, very close to filling. I would still give the nod to the sell side here, just by looking at the order flow, or I'm trying to understand at least the order structure. The reason being is, like, we came up here, we rejected. You see the buyers come in, they rejected. You see the sellers come in. So here's one candle down. Then this candle here did not make a higher high, and we see the retest again in this area here. So we're looking for maybe one test back down here and maybe get down to the bottom of the red. Let's see, the low here is actually at the figure at 5,500. Maybe we can even get lower and down into this 50. So let's take a look at Bookmap then and see if we're getting that follow. Yeah, we are. This was actually what we were here. Now we're getting it here, right? So still looking for the continuation, and I just see still more sellers in here. Morning. Slow. Let's take a look at some market structure in here. Well, since we were looking for this move, well, here's our retest here. Sellers come in, big selling cluster here. Our retest, very little buying. And let's see if we come back up here again. See if we get our sellers in here again. And yep, here they are. Now, this is the third attempt down here. You'd still see more selling in. Are we ready to break it? Well, let's take a quick look, and maybe we can position in shot. So there we go. Now what we're looking for, we're going to look for actually maybe a bigger move. The first move is down to this 03, our low of the day, but maybe we can hold out a little bit longer, or down to the figure that we're looking at here in the higher time frame, right? Down to here. All right. So anyway, just again, going through the process and reading the order flow, and then looking for what might unfold. You know, I want to mention this because this one's okay. This one's starting to work out. In fact, we might even take some profit down here if we see some buying coming in. I'm just going to exit it. Now, why did I do that? Because I want to go through instead of having this back and forth in here, and just mention in here. We don't know this is going to happen. This actually kind of unfolded nicely for us. A very, very easy move, and we all love that. We all want that. And I just want to mention that. This is all probabilities in here. We have no idea what's going to happen. And there could have been buyers that come in here, lift it back up to here, lift it back up to here, whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. We're just trying to gain an understanding of buyers and sellers in this auction process. And then we're looking for the more likelihood of to unfold, probability. That's it. That's all we can do. And there's an element of luck in here as well. It's like if you're a blackjack player or a poker player, I mean, that has to be a part of the equation. Okay? And we got lucky on this one. Last week we got unlucky a few times, and the market went against us, right? So I just, it's not that you figured it out or some sort of math equation. It's more like you manage risk, and just to understand that and embrace that this is how it is. This is, a big part of the equation, and you have to embrace it. You have to know it, and if you can't put up with that, then I would say trading's not for you. And there's no certainties in here. Just like we mentioned yesterday, I always use the um, well-used analogy of casino. A gambler may come in and make millions off of the casino. Just one gambler. Although average casinos make, they have the odds in their favor. And that's what we're trying to do. Okay? And we're trying to do it with, right, by understanding the behavior in the auction process, the orders that we look at to understand. That's it. And the more that you study this, you get experience with it, the more that you are able to find these opportunities and take advantage of them. The best way to do this would be to go back and record your data in here and go back in replay mode and look again. Trade it again. But yeah, here we go. Sellers coming right back down to this where the buyers came in here, right? And that's where we exited here. I just started to see a little hesitation, and I did not want to put up with the squeeze here to the upside, right back up to retest where the sellers came in, us, right? So because we don't know, we're get out, and then we're looking at maybe the next move to the downside. For a lot of you guys that are funded trader accounts and to pass evaluation, this is not a bad idea to just go with very, very simple, take your profit out. So I don't know if Alan is in here today, but Alan, it's a really funny thing. This is something that some years ago, I think you came in and really you started the discourse about, well, that's great, Bruce, but how do I trade it? How do I use it? It's like, okay, so let's go through it, and we kind of used you as a guinea pig, just to go, okay, so let's keep it really simple, all in, all out, and just do it over and over. And that might be enough. In fact, for you guys looking at those evaluation accounts, that's probably the method you want to use or really highly consider, because then it doesn't go against you. And you're just looking for those quick moves. If it doesn't go away, just get out. I know Robert Rother is doing something like that. And in fact, that was something I want to show you, since we're talking about Robert, about some of these trades over here, and looking at VWAP. It wasn't even anchored VWAP, it was just VWAP. But we can look at anchored VWAP as well. So let me turn it on. Is it okay? Do you guys want to go through that? We want to go through some of these trades, or do you want the live action? Okay, and look at what's happening right now. Let me know. We're on YouTube as well. I know there's a little bit of delay now over on YouTube, but yeah, please let me know. Back. Start a poll. There you go, Dan. Carry on with it. What do you mean, the here and the now, the live analysis? Dan? Okay. Oh, we only got one person requesting it. All right, well, here's another quick little scalp right here. And I'm just looking to take it into the liquidity here, or the figure down here. That's right at the bottom of the range in here. I don't like doing that. I have a tendency to do that. Let's see if we can get it. Now, I'm going to actually, I don't like doing this in the webinars. This is where I get in trouble in these webinars with the trade management. But going through some different strategies in here. Let's see if I get filled. Because I got in down here, but we want to look at pullbacks as well. Now here, again, you can even look in pullbacks in here. This one was a little easier for me to read than this one. We got to, because it's down at the bottom of the range in here. And let me go through this. Okay, so we got filled already, so we're out, and we're just looking for the move from here down to here. Did it? We're out. Okay, now, Rob, I think you passed your evaluation, right? Anyway, I think you did, Rob, and I was really proud, really happy for you. So anyway, let's just go through these two examples in here. Why this one better than this one? Look where I'm getting in. Okay, I'm getting in here. The swing is here though. Okay, so I have this much leeway in here. Let's mark it up. I have leeway in here. So that I can just take some profit down to the bottom of the range here. That's it. And in here, this was a pretty easy read. I feel like strong move, strong, consistent. We can go over our. Oh, you didn't pass yours yet. Okay. Well, Rob, I know you will. Keep at it, and keep using the Bookmap replay mode. And I think you're gonna get there. This is like our flag pattern in here. Let's see if we have a consolidation. Yeah, we do. We have some consolidation in here as well, and different pattern. But anyway, strong move, strong volume, consistent. The angle here, and selling. Here's our pullback. Look at the pullback and look at the volume in here, and look at the market structure as well. Where it pulled back, the first test would be here. And actually, it already did that right here on this swing, right? And I'm looking at, again, market structure. This swing here, it's on a line. This swing here, which already was tested, and the next swing was, and then it came back to there, and we didn't know at that point. But then here, this is helping out a little bit. We see a little bit of cluster of selling. Here's lack of buying on a retest. Lack of buying. We don't know. Maybe it just kind of bounces off of this buying support here, and maybe we go back up. Well, sellers come in and they make it down to this level here. Okay? We get a retest back to here. Look at the buying here. Okay, look at the buying in very little again here. So we have lower highs. We have clusters of selling in here. Have a stronger move selling in. It is aligning for break of this little structure, this little structure right here, and then test the bottom of the range. Maybe we'll get continuation to the downside, and we did. Now we were looking for further. In fact, I was really a measured move here. To right, that would have been, and we didn't get it, right? So it just started to come shy of it, and then back and forth. So anyway, that's how we set ourselves up for it. Now, this trade here and reading this structure in here is very different than this read. This one, how much leeway do I have? I only have this much, just a sliver here, right? It's at the bottom of a range already. I'm not, too psyched about this move here. So what do we do? Well, we can look for a pullback and then continuate, or we can just skip it. Or we paid attention up here and we got in, maybe involved in a better area up in here. Note this behavior in here, though. Note how this is very similar to this over here. Okay, how we talked about this. Let me clear this one for a second. That there was exhaustion up in here, lower highs, and then selling clusters. So buyers here, some exhaustion here, some selling clusters over here. Beautiful exhaustion here, just looking for our sellers to push it. So we do have that. This is similar to this over here. Okay? And that is the behavior between the buyers and the sellers. Now we have our range and our structure, and we don't have a really good setup for that. So we're not looking for too much out of this. In fact, I got lucky. I didn't get squeezed here. You can see the squeeze started to happen maybe up in here later. And then now we're seeing a real nice move to the downside. This was all we're looking for, and we're looking at the figure. Okay, out the next setup, the next setup, well, it's right in front of us. This is a little higher time frame, but this pattern continued. We're selling down here. We broke the low, so we're making a lower low. We're making lower highs. We're not seeing lots of buying up. In fact, we're seeing clusters. Look at the back and forth. Here we're like shark blue and kind of these ABC patterns in here. So you can look at the buying versus the selling within these patterns, and also the market structure. And again, we have more selling down here. Now, this is the same as over here. We don't have a whole lot of area, though. Maybe it just kind of goes here, bounces out, and comes back to the top. This we don't know. This one broke down and continued. But we really want to manage our risk in some of these setups in here. I would suggest maybe not looking for the break like this, but then the pullback here. Okay, so we'd actually look for a pullback back to where it broke from, or this structure here. Now, problem with that is there's the FOMO part. You might not get it, and maybe it just continues to drop really quickly, or you'll see this small little structure in here pull back that maybe doesn't relate to some of the other structure. You might miss it, and other times you'll just nail it, though. Get a beautiful pullback to it, volume, and then continue. Might not get filled as well, because there's low volume in here, a lot of exhaustion by the buy side up in here, and you set your limit sell up here. May even hit it several times and still not fill it. Okay, so you'll have to figure out ways how you want to. Rob, I think you'll get really good at the reflexes. Seeing these things very quickly. Yeah, here's another suggestion by Slowdown, and this is a great one. We usually kind of suggest something like this when it's really volatile. Is either you really drill into small time frames, or do the opposite and you widen out your stops and your targets. And then you can, like he's saying, you can keep the same risk reward, but we'll just need to find out, like, maybe micros instead of on how big your account is. Yeah, find out what suits. Yeah, exactly what Slowdown is saying. Yeah, find out what's best for you, what works for you. That's the key, and maybe both work depending on the environment. Like last week, boy, I should have been. Some of that order flow read just didn't make any sense. It was perplexing. I'd look back at it and go, God, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. And all it does is like dip down a little bit and go boom the other way, and just drive hard. So anyway, reduce the risks, and know what you're looking for and what your company is for you. Yeah, well, Rob, I mean, anxiety about being in trade is pretty bad. So maybe just, yeah, get in, get out, look for really, really simple trades, and just looking for those to unfold, and take your profit. Now, the beautiful thing about that is you can do that in the futures market, some of these products. You cannot do that over in crypto environment. It's you're going to have to be in that trade for a while, because you try to scalp over there, there's a lot to overcome before. So, you have to pick your markets. I feel that futures markets, especially with now these micros, is excellent. All right, guys, well, let's see what we've got here. So we've got our breakdown here. What's our bigger picture? Kind of flying blind here, so let's go back and take a look. All right, so we were just looking for the move down to the figure 5,500. It blazed through it, and it came back down into this cluster of candlesticks or volume here, and you can see where this one opened, and we see the strong move to the upside. We're finding some support here. I thought maybe we'd go a little bit lower here, that, and maybe down to some of these swings in here, where we know down in here, if we're volume profile guys, there's not a whole lot trading down here, and we saw moves to the upside in here. Right? So it's probably hitting a high volume node on a higher time frame, just where there were a lot of traders, and we know buyers came in very clearly. Okay? So we're seeing a reaction there right now, and maybe it's short-lived. Maybe it kind of comes around again and then comes into that. Limit orders is what you've been working on. Futures are crazy. They're not so bad. I think it depends on what market you're trading, Caesar. But you shouldn't get slipped too much in S&P. A bit more in NASDAQ. Stops will certainly, if you get caught up in a stop run, you'll get slipped. Absolutely. Not always, likely. Okay, Caesar, you're kind of figuring out what works best for you in terms of order entry limits. I mean, there's gives and takes to both. So you might not get filled at all. Usually, if you use a limit order, the way that retail traders we have to trade is we're going to be at the end of the line just about every time. So that means it might hit your order many times. It might trade there for a while, and you still don't get right at your price level, because you're going to be likely in the end of the, and that's exactly what these algos here. That's their edge. They're positioning themselves in the queue that when price does come to them and they do a trade, they're already in front. They're guaranteeing. Yeah, so that's what you've seen as well. Yeah, it has to trade through basically. Yep, which can be a real pain. Sometimes you have to kind of get in front of it, you know, like, oh, here's my level, but you wouldn't have gotten filled. So you got to go up a little bit higher. And so that means that it's almost kind of like, you know, guaranteed slippage as well, in essence. Look, play around, keep playing with Caesar, whatever works for you. I mean, like, you know, another way to look at it too is like wait for your move to unfold, and then you can start to look for placing your limits right underneath on a pullback. Maybe we can demo that. You know what I want to demo in here? I've done this. Well, I've done this so many times. I don't know if you guys want to see this or not, but I think it's really cool. This algo in here, we can mimic this behavior, and therefore you can pretty much position yourself in the queue as well. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to turn the algo off at a certain point, stay in the queue. So how do I mean? What does this mean? Well, let's go to studies configuration. Do you guys want to see this? Not. See on YouTube, how's everything? Fast. I don't know what's up, Simon. Icebergs. Okay, yeah, we can go over icebergs of when price is in a pre-identified demand or supply zone. What should you be looking for? Oh yeah, well that's we go over this time and again. So just the things that we were talking about. You know, you look at the structure, the volume, and it has to be those three elements again and again. Okay, here, look at this. Like, here's our breakout here. Okay, I'm actually from this little area. It's bigger structures here, but breakout, we test to where it broke out from. Get the exhaustion, very little selling in here, and then buyers still looking for continuation. Now that's so easy to do in hindsight, right? But when we're in the moment in here, we don't know. Right in here, we might get another retest back down here. There might be a big sell cluster, and there might be order book information here that maybe there was on the bid like high liquidity and they pull. Okay, it opens the door for sellers to just jam it right through down to here. It's happened many times in live market here in this webinar, but this is the behavior we typically see. This we see more buyers, we see a pullback, we see less sellers than buyers, and then we're looking for buyers back up into this area here. We get them here. This is your entry. This is another little flag pattern in continuation. That's it. Okay, now you're looking for a measured move in this as well, and you would have taken your profit up here. It gave you the move on this very small. Right, stick with me, Colin. We'll go through it again and again and again. So I don't know what COB column you're looking at, Simon, but yeah, here you can see it. We're zoomed in. I don't know if it looks different than what you're looking at, but this is the live market for the S&P. I don't know if you're looking at NASDAQ, it's obviously going to be moving a lot quicker. So yeah, well, this is precisely like why you could use the dome here and still work out some good strategies even with a pretty more volatile market like this. Look at the liquidity in here: 2s, 3s, 4s, up to like 7. Oh, here's 12. That's the highest. Let's jump back. Yes, the lowest in here is like 30 or something, right? So the liquidity and the price movement is very, very different due to that. And I know that's obvious, but then don't trade from the COB. Look at the heat map. Use the heat and look at the same 3 elements we just talked about. Yeah. Hey, we can bring up the dome for Dome Pro in here. Just enable up. This is for the NASDAQ, right? And look at it move in here. Yeah, well, that's how the NASDAQ moves, right? You can still use it though to trade from, and you're just going to have to look at some of your higher liquidity areas. Like here's 10, here's 9, 10, 8 down here, and maybe it comes down there. Now start to look at it. Now what about volume profile in here? Here's your high volume node right here. There's a blaze right through it, right? So sellers all of a sudden going right through it. Look for the next area, and it is moving very, very quickly. We've got a great feature in note the lines in here. Okay, so there's a reset here. This is the new reset here. Here's the previous one down here. Okay, so you'll see the dome. Watch it. It'll a certain amount of ticks and it resets like it just did there. Okay, so this is the previous area up here. Well, let's see here. 143. This one. Here's our current one. 137. 37. 7. Okay, so now it just changed, right? Now this is the it's changing pretty quickly here. Understand? So this is your new after the dome resets. It goes to the edge here and resets, right? This is the new reset here. That's where it reset to. Here's your old one. This is where it came from, the black line. Okay, so you don't, because otherwise you'll get lost. You won't really understand where it's fast moving. Okay. So anyway, yeah, this is the NASDAQ's really starting to move. Okay, so yeah, it's just dropped about 40 or so. Now it's come down to this swing. Colin, let's take a look. What do we see down here? Well, we got the swing, we got the market structure. I'm seeing sellers still. I'm not seeing buyers, no buyers, no buyers. What about market? What about here? There's some exhaustion, there's a little bit of buying, but that's not enough yet. Okay, getting better now. Okay, here they come. Let's get a retest to here. Okay, and then look for maybe an entry here, right there at 19, right? And now we're looking to see if we can get buyers come back in and retest back up to maybe 30 or 35 up here. Okay, now that's kind of catching a falling knife, right, from 19, we're looking for a reversal here, but this is, again, we had market structure on 2 different time frames. Okay, we had the bigger time frame here, and then we had this small time frame of this really strong move to the downside, and starting to note like the buyers starting to come in. Okay, so we had first off our horizontal line somewhere around down here, and then we can look at like a trend line in here, and some more to understand. Yeah, see how it's kind of bouncing off of that one and this zone up here. Again, market structure. Okay, so maybe if you bought that, looking for a big reversal, or you're going to take some partial profit up here. Okay? Because now look at it. Do you want to hold that reversal in front of all of this? I don't know. Doesn't look too good to me. I see a lot more sellers than buyers. Okay, and it would have been great to get some partial out here, and then maybe hold on to it, see if you can. If you get a reversal, because you do have your higher time frame structure. Okay, so we went over structure, and we went over volume within structure. Now, liquidity is the other element in here. Did traders get filled on the bid on the way down? And you can see these little areas and pockets. Looks like they did. Yeah, starting to understand that dynamic. Okay, because the volume might tell you something different compared to. So this turned out pretty well. Okay, now back up to this market structure and high volume node. I would get out of this at this point. I would have taken the partial. I would like to say I would have taken the partial here, and I would like to say I would have been out up here. Okay, it met my objective at my time. We're in around this 19 level in here, and it kind of bounced around. It took a little while. And so it's three elements again and again: market structure, volume, and limit orders. Okay, and the context between all three of those. Trader Map Lite, yeah, sure. So Trader Map Lite, we covered earlier. We've got it here for the ES, and all you have to do is come up to, we'll click on the, it only works for the ES, NQ, MES, and MN. Okay, so only 4 instruments. So just click here, go to Trader Map Lite or add it from add-ons manager. You'll install, and then just check the box here. We'll open up a new synthetic instrument here, and you will not be able to trade from it, nor be able to look at stops and icebergs for now. Okay, we'll get there pretty soon though. Okay. Give us a few more weeks, and we probably more like the end of. All right, let's go back, and I want to mimic these in here. I said I would, and let me look at some of the questions over here in Discord. Sorry, guys. Keep on getting. I'm asking for it. I'm asking for the distractions, but you know, happy to answer your questions. All right, so let's go up here. We're going to turn on this algo here, chase and escape. So we're going to put on chase, distance, go with 2 points. Is it about 2 points? Yeah, it's around 2 points or so. It's like, and then escape also. So level 8. All right, let's see if this works. Now, this is actually, these were the first chase, escape, and execute. And these were the first algos we developed. They were execution algos, but it was only to showcase the API that we have for Bookmap. And then you can see all of the other add-ons that we have since. Yeah, it's a little history here. And it's enabled here. You'll have to sign documents that you're going to use it. And let's try it now. And now it only works on, and don't want brackets. We'll use just one contract here, and it only works on limit orders. Okay, so we're going to click down here, way down here, and I'm going to left clicking in this window is always a buy, and right clicking sell. Now I want a buy limit down here, so left click here, and then I'm going to right click up here because I want to sell too. So let's watch this here. Now you can see like it's pretty close to it, and it's mimicking that algo behavior, right? Maybe it's off a tick or two. We can adjust it right on the fly. Maybe we have to go out a couple of points here. Right? So this is what that algo is doing. It will trail, but then also escape, and depending on the order book here. Now, our condition for the execute is different. What's the point of this algo? Well, like I said, T46, this was to kind of showcase what you can do in Bookmap with the API. But what you can do, how you can trade it, well, there's a couple different ways. Well, all three of these algos work together, and the other one is execute here. Okay, and you can say like when a certain condition is met, execute the order, and then that's that, right? Another way you can use this, if you want, is here. Watch this. So all we have to do is turn these off. Okay, at a certain point. Let's suppose like my level is, yeah, let's just say on this looks pretty good on the offer up here, right? So let's take them off, and I'm going to cancel this one here. Okay, I just want to get filled. Okay? I'm in the front of the queue, or I'm in front of even that big algo here. Look at my little blue line in here. See where it is? That's my position in the queue. Right? So that's what this algo does in here. It's mimicking precisely the behavior of these algo bands in here. Anyway, I've seen some really nice moves, guys. I can't stand it. But let's cancel all, and let's take a look and see what's going on. Bigger picture. Got to get readjust here. Okay, so this was the we kind of took a break here, or it bounced here, pulled back, market structure pulled back to here. Now we're getting the move back down here. Beautiful. Okay, so I am looking for buyers down here right now. Let's see. Okay, so here high liquidity just filled. All right, so now we have a higher time frame level. We know that. Now we're going to look for a lower time frame level. Okay, and we're going to start to put some market structure into this as well. Okay, so here we got a level in here and a level. These are very, very simple lines. You guys have definitely, you know, my first technical analysis book covered these kinds of things here. Okay. Now it's getting really nice now. Okay, so definitely looking for some buyers. Here's some exhaustion from some buyers. So I'm still not interested yet. The trend is still to the downside. Market structure is not broken yet. So I am not interested yet, but I'm starting to note, starting to see less sellers down here, and we're starting to see some buying coming in. Okay, here's some liquidity right here. This just got filled. Still selling though, right? So still selling off, still holding market structure. Okay, now our trend line starting to get tested here. Okay, starting to see some buyers. Again, not a whole lot of sellers down here. There's no buying there, and there's some selling here. Okay, now let's take a look at this one too. Stop run. Stop run, and now I'm looking for buyers up here at 75. We can put a bracket on. Okay, there we go. Now we're looking for back up to structure up here. Something like that. So small structure here. So we're stopped out immediately on that one. Pretty close to it. That's fine. For it again. Again, we're looking for structure to break. And our structure's up here. So again, looking for buyers up here. There's some exhaustion. Let's see if we get our buyers. Okay, there are buyers. Right. Well, still have this kind of structure up here. We have a low volume node as well. Let's see if we can get, no, we're getting stopped out again. So this is one of the dangers here about trading reversals. We noted on the reversal strategy. Okay, reversals can be tricky. Right? And I'm being pretty aggressive with this market structure in here. You could probably say this didn't really break the structure. It did break the trend line, but it did not break our horizontal structure. So actually what we'd like to see is it break, come back, retest, fill our order, and continue. Again. Still more sellers. Okay, there's some exhaustion, some buyers here. Not yet. There we go. All right, let's try it again. I'll widen this one out a little bit here. We have a little more structure now to take a look at. No, still not ready. Get stopped out. Okay, let's take a look at our bigger picture in here. Where are we? Okay, on our hourly. Yeah, we're below all of these areas. I'm still looking for it. All of this price activity here, we're going to find people covering, and we're going to find some buyers interested. So still. Okay, so that it? That might be it right there. Maybe you get a retest here. Let's see. All right, let's take a shot at it. Now, again, one of the things in here, I mean, this is pretty aggressive, and this is not a trade recommendation. But this is so strongly sold off that I'm actually looking for a pretty quick cover and a strong move to the upside here. And if it does, where might it go? Well, this is not still our areas that we kind of are not bad. You know, it could come all the way back up here to 91. Okay, so now this is getting interesting. So small structure tested here. Okay, we don't know if it's accepted yet or not. I probably won't. It's not. But let's see here. All right, so now we can even add a smaller structure here starting to build. And this swing. And we still might get stopped out on this. Okay, because these things take a little while to unfold. They you know, we want to see that buying coming in. And you got to see these clusters of buying coming in. Not always, but you know, a lot of times it's this back and forth. This is your ABC pattern, or what Shark Baloo looks at. Okay, let's see if we'll probably get one more stop run to the downside here, to be honest. Let's see. that was a really, really strong sell-off. You guys can see from 92 down to 67, 65, higher. All right, so this would be actually the place to probably take a partial here, somewhere around the 70, 70. We're looking for something. We're looking for this not to be kind of a head and shoulders pattern in here, because this is such a strong sell-off. We're just looking for basically a break and then a pretty strong back here. That's what I'm looking for. Well, I mean, that was our level that we're looking at right in here. You know, the next levels, I mean, would probably be, it's hard to see really. There's not a whole lot. Maybe here, but definitely up here. Back and forth. Really, really strong. So anyway, guys, now just a note in here. So Colin, for example, you know, we just went through and we got stopped out like 2 or 3 times in here. Reversals are, at least I find them tricky. It takes a few shots maybe, unless you really, really wait. Because I'm looking for this kind of rubber band effect in here really quickly, and I just didn't think we would, if we didn't get in, we're not going to get it. Because I don't think we're going to get a back and forth like a double bottom or head and shoulders or, you know, ABC pattern. I just think we're going to see it come back down and then quickly move right back up. So I wanted in, taking these little pot shots at it. And to be honest, like, was I really justified in some of these? Probably not. No, is that a good buy? I started to break some of the structure. I thought we'd get the bump there, and then another one in here, and didn't get it. Another one in here, get it. One more, and then we got something out of it. Okay, got something out. So the T46. So the point of the algos that we were covering back over here is to, yeah, it's absolutely, it's about positioning. No question. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge advantage. That's why they're doing it, right? And here, look at the here. You can see 1, 2, 3 levels here, right? The little white lines, this algo add-on we've had forever, like 10 years now, called the large lot tracker. We know, or we can kind of determine that one player has this much liquidity in, and note how they're all even in here. So really highly likely, like 99.9%, that is the same player. Okay, now let's continue on though. Look down here on the bid, same white line on 3 different price levels. It matches these 2 bands in here historically. They are positioning themselves in the queue, and when the opportunity is right, they will let their orders get filled. Well, let's see, the Mike, yeah, I was really trying to catch a falling knife in here by looking at this in here. Higher time frames, this is my level. I was looking for a reaction there. Well, we didn't get it. We got the reaction lower. Such a strong move. So it had to come back down, not to these levels. It came back down to this level here. Now we're starting to get a reaction. And I thought what would happen is we get a pretty quick move from here right back up to here, then it would curl back down, then maybe get this move. I didn't think we'd get this really strong move like this. Okay, so I took little shots at it. I would look back at this and say, like, what did I do wrong? Well, I didn't wait for the structure really to change. Had our trend line break here, but it just kind of went sideways a little bit. But then we finally got it. We had a bit bigger structure trade. We see the move side. Here is your pullback trade. This is the easier trade. Yeah, look at the size of the bubbles, and also look for that liquidity to trade on the way down. Like, for example, let's look at TraderMap Pro. So we see high liquidity got filled here. It just dumped. What about down here on some of these areas? So they're still pulling. They're still pulling. Now we're really looking for the transactions into that high liquidity, and we don't really see it. Not that big, In fact, what we do see is the opposite. We see some of these levels on the offer getting filled up in here. Okay, so we know there's sellers up here. Okay, these buyers are meeting sellers. These green dots, these buyers are meeting sellers up. So anyway, looking for your pullbacks, I think, is a safer bet, Mike. It's just that I thought, wanted to get in it. I wanted to look for this move, then maybe a small pullback, and then continue pushing back up into some of these here. Okay, all of this is so thinly traded up here. It's just selling. So typically in the auction process, at some point, these areas will be tested because they really didn't auction very. As long as we can get the buyers coming in here, then yeah, we look for these areas. It might not happen today, but later, tomorrow. But the combination again is market structure, the transactions within that market structure, so the limit. So now limit orders are telling us something a little. So we don't really see a lot getting filled down here. It's kind of fun. They are starting to bid up in here, you can see. So they want back into this market. It's like, so where are we likely to go? We're already at the top of this little structure here. Yeah, I'm kind of looking for maybe sellers to try to take it back down again. 71, 68 or so. But I don't have any justification for that. With the selling or the buying in here, next level is here, 78. Right, the bid is pretty strong. Next, most likely, now I just don't think it's that strong of a setup, but it's likely the next 70, 77 and 3. See, now we're finding the sellers. Now these guys here, these buyers in here, that's new buying. Let's see. See a stop run here. This is new buying, and okay, so watch out. If the sellers, if this is new buying in here, and we can get down below it here, then look out. Stop run to the downside. So instead, we see a lot of new buying right into a big iceberg. But we are getting the buying, and our 78 level is the most likely. see if there's any more questions. During rollover, it's a different story. It's similar. You'll see the similar kind of order flow, but you know, it's contract, or you see a lot of traders roll back to the next. This bracket algo has been in here for some weeks now, several weeks. In the ES, it's been in the NQ quite a bit longer, and we have seen it in the past years. So, you know, whatever the case may be, at a certain period, a larger player, and we know it's a larger player, this is their behavior. It's shadowing the offsetting from the best bid and best offer. Okay, so anyway, the solution for those of you who may have joined later, the solution's pretty straightforward. Just use that Trader Map Pro like this now instead. All right, so let's see if those sellers can now squeeze the buyers, right? And let's see if they can hit it hard here and try to get it maybe down to, not looking for too much, but maybe back down to around this 73, or maybe down to 70. Oh, you're welcome, Caesar. Oh, yeah, see you at the Academy meeting. Anyway, guys, I mean, I'm trying to rifle through all these different scenarios in here where price might go just based off of this context of these elements in here. It's been kind of a strange one today, going through, well, actually going through the basics, but we didn't have any kind of theme or focus here today. We kind of jumped into the live analysis instead. We had some good trades, then we had some bad ones, and then we ended up with a and gained some of that back. Catching that bottom. So anyway, guys, like how do this is what we go through in the Academy, right? If I were to look at my behavior in here now, the best thing to do is go back and retrade this in replay mode. Record your data and go back and retrade this. What were you looking at? Now, what I would say or reflect off of is this heavy selling in here and those levels. Okay, so on our higher time frame, heavy selling, they can blaze through these kind of intermediary levels quicker. You know, they'll just keep going until they meet the next level. Okay, so we kind of had to wait until we got down to the next level, and then we were looking for a reaction. Yeah, and maybe the takeaway would have been like, well, I'm being a little stubborn. Took 3 shots at it in, and you know, none of those worked out. Got ran over, and I thought for sure we get a reaction in here. Well, that wasn't so smart. So look for the next level, right? So the takeaway would be like when you see heavy selling like this, why would you start looking at? You can take a shot at it here, but you got to see something really good on the buy side, not just a small structure break like this trend here did break. Okay, that's what got us involved in it, and then we started to see some buying. So we're looking to catch the falling knife right in here, you know, twice here, 3 times, and then the 4th time here out. Okay, guys, a lot of stuff we covered today. Let's try to keep it simple. We'll stop here in just a minute. So over in YouTube, guys, if you can hit that like button, really appreciate it. So yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe, or even better yet, just come over to our Discord channel. You can go into the Bookmap Academy meetings on Thursdays. Mind Bliss, stops and icebergs. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, let's go through that and then we'll wrap it up. Understanding as a confluence, also stops and icebergs can be really helpful in here. So a level. First off, let me finish up with this higher time frame and this heavy selling plays through our level in here. So you look for the next one. Now you're looking for a reaction in here. This is where you're starting to look for not only your reaction, but look at stops and icebergs as a confluence in here. Okay, so icebergs, we know larger players are using icebergs most part, by the very most part, because they don't want to show their liquidity in the order book and scare price away. So they'll get filled with a hidden limit order. And that's your iceberg. And we can see the transactions in here. Okay, so they were actually thinking somewhat similar here to us. You can see the buying icebergs in here, right in this little area. Later down here. And then you see more iceberg buying in here. Okay, so now what do you have at this level? You've got iceberg buying. Okay, this has been a stop run all the way down. You can see it just continue to stop run to the downside. And then it's kind of flat in here. Now we're seeing stops to the upside in here. This is where you can maybe look back. So you're pulled back in some of these areas in here and look for the buyers to come back in and test back up. It's an idea, or at least to where these sellers are here. Again, it's tricky with the reversals because we don't know, is that supply gone? Where is that demand? You can see the move to here or here. It's both on. And then now it's we're not really getting too much, not seeing a whole lot. So using again this as a confluence of you can look for when those stop runs start to kind of subside and where these icebergs were picking up in this case. That's what I would be looking for. Iceberg stops in this example. A lot of times you'll see just other examples. You might see buying icebergs all the way down here on a big down day. And then you're like, God, this doesn't make any sense. Like they're absorbing it. And we see high liquidity also on the bid, absorbing, getting filled all the way down. Well, that's where you can widen it out. Look for your higher time frame levels. And then you can look for a multi-day move to the upside after days like that. It's pretty crazy. Mind Bliss, I would also suggest come on Thursdays to Scott Pulcini's webinar. He uses stops and icebergs specifically for his setups. And again, he does use them as a confluence, but it's what tips him off. It's kind of like the alert that for him, it's like, aha, now I'm interested. Now let's look at the order flow. Let's look at the structure. Ask him questions. He'll be able to go through. Let's see here. Chart. Yeah, I have two different axes in here, my icebergs and stops. I like it like this so that I can see the context between stops and icebergs. Okay, so I do not have them along. That helps. Guys, thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow, JTrader, and then on Thursday is Scott Pulcini. He'll go through the stops and icebergs in detail, and then we'll see you on Friday. Okay. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.